Hello everyone, this is Erica with Savon Designs, and today I have a quick tutorial on the little birds on a branch that I have turned into Suncatchers. And this file has three different options, one of which is just the regular piece that goes in between the two pieces of acrylic material or wood or whatever you choose to use. I have flex in the middle here from Smoky Hill, and 1/16 acrylic is what I have chosen to use. This one is a white acrylic, 1/16 inch, and it's got this fun little, I thought it was clouds, but now that I'm looking at it, I think it's supposed to be beach and water. So these went from sky birds to ocean birds, but it's still pretty. This one has kind of a rainbow design in it. I will get the names of these flex patterns for you guys as well. But I have these pre-made and I'm going to make three. So first option is just simply sandwiching that flex in between. Second option, I've broken out the branch. So the branch can be one material and the birds can be another. And in the third option, I've broken out the whole thing. So the branch can be an option, each body and each back of the birds can be a different material. So we're going to put those together today. And we are going to start with just the basic one. And I have this fun opal something material. Is what that one's name is. And let's see, this is going to be the piece. So I use 3M, put this on before I cut my designs, and I would not make Suncatchers any other way. These little pieces are so thin to try to put glue on would be a little horrendous and messy, and I am not known for my gluing skills, so we won't go that route. I love 3M. So I've taken that off. This is really sticky on this side. These guys, when you get that thin acrylic, you can see I can push that in and it completely changes the shape. So sometimes that's hard to get a piece like the flex on. So my files, first of all, I always cut an option or create an option to cut the middle piece 0.01 inches smaller than the rest of the design. And that just helps with the flex and gives you a little wiggle room. If you had a thicker piece, you could easily line that up more with your fingers, but the flex doesn't do that as much. So I like to give that little extra room for error. And we are just going to line this up as best we can. The 3M does give you a little flexibility. If you're not quite there, you can pull it off. I think we did good here. And we're going to push that down and get our second piece. I am using just a weeding tool. If you've ever used a Cricut machine, you probably have one of these around. If not, definitely get one. Super helpful for getting things like 3M off. It's so satisfying when it all comes off in one piece. And then we're just going to line this up with our fingers. And get all those edges where they want to be. Make sure my piece out here didn't slide in when I was trying to line that up, so it's on the edge. And voila! Easy peasy. Now let's get a little bit harder. So this guy, whoops, drop all my pieces here. Sorry about that. I have a flex that was a wood design, so I thought that was kind of fun for the branch. And then I wanted my birds to be all the same, and I found this really pretty little rose pattern that thought just kind of fit those little birds really well. So this guy over here ends up being his own piece, while the other three are all hooked together. And we are going to pull that 3M off. Oops. Set this down. I'm filming a little on an angle so you don't get the as much glare from the lights above. I think there's still a little halo glare there. And we're just going to line this guy up. For that piece. And then you're just putting a puzzle together. And that piece is going to butt right up to our wood piece. Looks like we have a little edge there I had to fix. And same thing with this guy. Perfect. And now we can take our other piece off, put that on top. Sometimes if you have fingerprints on here, it's not a bad idea to get your, I've got the rainbow cleaner that Smoky Hill recommends for their products. And a really dirty looking rag here, but that is what we have. So I'm just gonna kind of wipe any of those fingerprints off that might show through, because they're gonna be harder to wipe off once we get this other piece of acrylic on. Again, 1/16, this one's black acrylic, and I'm just gonna line that up using my fingers, slide it around if I need to, pull it off because that one's not lined up quite right. And press that down once I get it in place. And I have some cute little rosebud birdies on a branch. So this file does come in 2 sizes. So here's the bigger size. And this guy's, I don't think he's quite 12 inches, 11.5 maybe. And for this, I wasn't really sure what to do. I was trying to find some florals that all kind of matched and went together. And I wasn't really finding that, so I kind of did this tie-dye and then had some solid colored flecks that all kind of went together. So I did the bodies in this fun tie-dye and did their heads in a different color. So let's see how this one will turn out. And it's going to be a little more challenging because we've got these extra pieces, but if I can do this, anybody can do this. And when we broke it, not as satisfying when it comes off in multiple pieces, but, and again, I use this little wood flex design. I'm going to just line that up with that edge and make sure, again, these pieces, when they're that thin, can kind of push up a little. So I want to get that in just the right spot. And I did not do a very good job, so we are going to pull that off and start again. Oh, so much better. All right. And now I probably should have lined all these guys up first to figure out which ones go where. That guy does not go there. Oh yeah, you should always dry fit before you jump into it. And he is going to go right there. He's sitting over a little bit. But he's going to butt right up against that wood piece, or that acrylic piece that looks like wood. And this guy goes over here. I believe. No, he goes over here. Perfect. And these are cut so that they're halfway. Where they need to be if it needs to share some of that black edge, if that makes sense. Oh, my light box just got a little brighter. I think I'm hitting the button over here. Again, we're just going to butt that little guy up there. Make sure he's not sticking out, and he is a little. So I have that little bit of forgiveness with the flex and can pull it off. Perfect. And now there's a little bit of that 3M that's still sticking through, and we can put the rest of the pieces on, and they're going to share part of that. Maybe. Ooh, I didn't get him on very straight. So use my weeding tool to kind of get under there and be able to pull him off and slide him right back where he needed to be so that his little tail feather can go on and fit perfectly. And let's see, some purple. It's gonna just slide right in there. Just a little bit of yellow. Again, it's gonna slide right in there. And these I do think I cut without the little negative kerf on it. So that will probably be helpful to have that negative kerf and have a little more forgiveness for how tight these need to fit. But we didn't do too bad. And now we can take that off and put the top on and have some little kind of spongy tie-dye. I think that's the name of this flex actually, is sponge tie-dye. I'm not sure. And the wood one came from a sampler, so there were 3 different designs of wood on that piece of flex. Off the rest of the way. Line that up. And we are done. So this is a really fancy little Suncatcher with all those different designs in there. You could get really crafty if you had some that went together. I really wanted to do like a flowery in each one if I could match the color at the top, and I just didn't have that inventory, I guess, or they just didn't really go together quite right like I wanted, but maybe get kind of a quilted type look to it, like different kinds of materials. And I hope you enjoyed this, and if you've made the wood grain birds on a branch, you know, this is just a fun extension of that for summertime. And thanks so much, guys. If you are not part of my group on Facebook and you've happened to stumble across this, you are more than welcome to join. It is Laser Love with Sabon Designs, and we share lots of tips and tricks and new files and all kinds of things. So have a great night, guys.